it for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
all in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. With Tony Marinaro.
55 seconds left in the penalty, a minute and 27 seconds left in regulation time. Boston 4, Montreal 3. Lafleur coming out rather gingerly on the right side. He gives it into Lemaire, back to Lafleur.
The sickest Montreal Canadiens podcast.
You're in the ball!
Sports entertainment like no other.
Rejoint, on lui fait perdre la rondelle, une passe devant. Et c'est le dégagement et ce sera la victoire des Canadiens. Stanley pour les Canadiens, le 23e de l'histoire.
You found the dogs! John, you found the dogs! He found the dogs! And all together, they worked a young team to the top. And now, a 24th Stanley Cup banner will hang from the rafters of the famous Forum in Montreal. The Canadiens win the Stanley Cup! Brought to you by Energy Transportation Group. Driven to be different. LaBita.tb. It's gonna be sick.
Marinaro on this Wednesday, March 22nd. It is 1 minute past 10 p.m. Eastern. And, of course, the Sick Podcast is brought to you in part by Energy Transportation Group, a leading full-service logistics provider serving all of North America. They are driven to be different. And Tibi. Embrace your true nature. Brewed in Quebec, a winner of a dozen international awards. Tibi offers quality microbrewery beers made with premium ingredients for everyone's taste. So here I am. And I'm going to be with you until about 11 o'clock with my wife in the other room, probably about, 10, 15 feet away from me. She's in this one. She's in I don't know how else to explain it, but it would be kind of like a heating blanket, basically. It's a blanket that has the same effect on you as if you would if you were entering a sauna type of thing. So anyway, she's in it every night, and it seems to be working because she's like Frosty the Snowman when they got rid of his hat, and she's like melting every day. As for me, quite the contrary. But yesterday, I told Daniello that after all the tweets and all the comments that I've seen and stuff like that, you know what? I'm going to do something about it. And I said to Daniello, you know what? You need to challenge me. And he said, okay, I challenge you. And I said, okay, give me something realistic that you think I can lose in X amount of days. And he said, 15 pounds in 40 days. 15 pounds in 40 days. I said, all right, okay. So I figured before I actually start watching what I eat for the next day or two, I actually have to go out and eat everything, and then I can start. And I didn't eat everything today, but I did have a nice lentil soup and a nice steak sandwich. I went out with my buddy, Senior Terry, who said, let's go for lunch, and he brought me to Bar Chocharos today. So I hadn't been there for a while, so it was nice seeing Anthony Panunzio and the gang, and had a good time, and it was nice seeing Senior Terry, my buddy, Terry. All right, okay. It's also nice seeing my buddy who joins me every Wednesday night. He's a regular collaborator, and he is from TVA Sport, Marc-André Perreault. But we don't have him, or what? What's the story here? I see him. I'm being told that he's in the green room, it says. So if he's in the green room, I guess he's... is there something wrong, or what? What's the story here? Why don't we have him yet? Marc-André Perreault. Agnello, Sammy, talk to me. You got to tell me something here. I see Mapper in the green room. They're probably trying. So now by the way, there was on a couple of occasions a couple of weeks ago, we had some issues with sound. And it was once with Marc-André Perreault, and on another occasion, it was with Georges Larac. So Agnello and Sammy had to come on and pretend that they were like sound engineers and try and fix this. But now we upgraded our system, what we have, and we kind of have like a back room type of thing. And all the sound checks are all done in the back room. And just like that, Sammy has sent me a note that he's on. So let's go to him right now. Now he's off. So first he told me he's on. Then he told me he's off. Now he's on again.
I am.
Yeah, there you go. So you're on, you're off, you're on again.
I'm just playing with you.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
What's up?
I wish my wife would be on and off and on and off and off. She's off all the time. Like she has no time. She has no time for me whatsoever.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, very, very quickly. Yeah.
Don't say things like that, because I was about to say, like, really.
You can say whatever you want. My wife knows I talk about her every now and then, but she also knows I love her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't always say the same thing that, sometimes I wonder. But anyway, She's here. She's next to me, and I'm talking this way because she's in one of these heating blankets, so she can't come out of the blanket and knock a frying pan over my head. Hey, what's going on with you? Where are you?
I'm in Boston.
You're in Boston? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, waiting for tomorrow game.
One of my favorite cities in North America to visit. Not that I've visited many of them. So, I mean, as far as the United States is concerned, I obviously visited New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia,
One of my favorite.
Boston, Los Angeles.
Yep.
You know what? Buffalo, Pittsburgh. So I visited, a couple. Boston's a great city to visit.
It is.
Great city.
You can spend a few days here and you won't be bored. That's for sure.
Yeah. Did you spend some time in the North End? Is that one of your favorite spots? Or I know it is for me. I love the North End.
No, I did not. I actually arrived a bit late.
Okay.
I had to speak with your best buddy, Jean-Charles.
Okay. Yeah.
For dinner.
He's not my best buddy. He is my friend. But to say he's my best buddy, like, for example, I'm closer to Agnello than I am to Jean-Charles. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm closer to my buddy Fast Phil than I am to Jean-Charles, my buddy Mike. But he is a friend of mine. There's no doubt about it.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
You're honest, so it's good.
Yeah.
No, it's great. And again, I'm wearing my hat to say hi to the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
Today. So, yeah.
Okay. There's, listen, I want to tell you about a place. We're going to start talking about the Habs in just a second here.
Oh, I didn't know about the
there's a place in the North End. It's called the Daily Catch. Have you ever been?
No.
Okay. It's on Hanover Street. Okay. And it's like a little, it looks like a little diner. Okay. It looks like a little diner. And as a matter of fact, they serve you your meal right from the frying pan. Okay. So they bring the frying pan, all the oil and everything, and stuff like that. Probably not the greatest thing for you, but
okay.
The fish is fresh and it tastes really good. The calamari in particular, it's a really, really interesting spot, Hopefully you don't have to go to the bathroom when you're there because they don't have one, but it's a good spot to go in and have a quick meal. Good spot. All right. Okay. Canadiens and the Bruins tomorrow night.
Yep.
What can we do to revamp this rivalry that was, which I don't even think is a rivalry anymore? I don't. I mean, obviously, we know that the Boston Bruins are the best team in hockey right now, and the Canadiens are probably like the fifth worst. So that doesn't help. And I guess the easy answer would be, well, they both would have to be pretty much the same level to revamp it. But I don't know about you, but this is like the weakest I've seen this rivalry be in a long, long time.
Well, you need playoffs, and you need to play against Boston during the season. And I really don't like you have to play home and away against each team at least in the National Hockey League. I would take Boston way more often than what we are seeing right now. So that's the key. First, you need playoffs. That's where you build rivalries. But
so in your world, how many times would you want to see the Canadiens play the Bruins in a season?
Well, it's tough because I didn't do the math, but at least 4 times. Against Boston, against Toronto, against Ottawa, against Buffalo. I mean, yeah, I want to see those teams more often than seeing. I mean, who is it like can't miss against Arizona, let's say? Who sits on his couch on a Saturday night and getting excited to see Montreal against Arizona?
Not even me. I don't even know how they have ice there.
Yeah, and it's the same with a lot of teams. So, anyways, and who cares in Arizona? Well, first about their team, but playing against Montreal. I mean, so for me, it's so obvious. You need rivalries, and And now, I mean, we could do an hour of show with that, but that's why you need to have like the Nordiques back. You need rivalries.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to see the Nordiques back for sure. That'll be an automatic rivalry because of the proximity in the province of Quebec and all that stuff. But I have to tell you, the Bruins and the Canadiens. The one thing I like about the playoff format that is in existence right now, and it's the only thing that I like about the playoff format, is if the same teams are making the playoffs 4 or 5 years in a row, which is what I think we're going to see going forward, because teams either make the decision to rebuild, or not. So teams that are good, those same teams will be good for a period of time, and teams that aren't good won't be good for a period of time. So what I like about this playoff system right now is that you can have rivalries because teams will play each other often in the playoffs. Example, Tampa Bay and Toronto.
That's not a good example. Is there a rivalry between them?
I think so. I mean, I know Tampa Bay wins all the time, but look, the Canadiens, the Bruins hadn't beat the Canadiens for 46 years at one point, and they had a rivalry, but they couldn't beat the Canadiens, but they had a rivalry.
Geography speaking, I mean, Toronto, Tampa. I don't get excited by this matchup. I mean, I'd rather see, I don't know. Let's see how it could. I mean, one.
Yeah, but hold on a second. Did Detroit and Colorado once upon a time, did they not have a rivalry?
They did.
Geography had nothing to do with it.
You're right about that, but I mean, it was kind of a different era where the rivalry. What are you doing?
I find that I just came out of the spa, and I find like my hair is very, very dry and stuff like that. So you probably missed this, but this is my hairstylist gave me this, and he thinks the best thing for your hair is actual natural conditioner. So I take conditioner just like that. See? In 2 seconds, bella, nice and nice. You see?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
These are my tricks, my friend.
Okay.
I am not afraid to give away my trade secrets and my tricks, because even if people copy what I do, at the end of the day, they're not me. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's go back to what we're talking about here. Because
different type of
you know what I want to see, Mapper? I want to see, let's just say the Canadiens and the Bruins play each other 6 to 8 times a year, okay?
That's a lot. I mean, it can't work. Can't work. There's too many teams.
Well, it can work. You just don't have to play every team.
Well, you need to see at least, I mean, you have to see every team at least once. But back in the days when it was, okay, this conference, not conference, but division, you're going to play them 1 year at their place and the year after home. So that was, to me, it could work. But, I mean, I couldn't care less about playing Arizona twice in the year.
No, you're right about that. But, I'll tell you what can really get a rivalry going. Let's say the Canadiens play the Bruins.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night on a Thursday night in Boston. Okay? Yeah. They stay there on Friday. And on Saturday, they play them again in Boston. So this way, for example, they arrive on the Wednesday or they arrive on the Tuesday night. On the Wednesday, they have a practice in Boston. The media is already setting the stage, right? The Canadiens versus the Bruins. The storylines are coming out. The interviews are taking place. Then on Thursday, more quotes, more of this. Thursday night, they play. They play. The result of the game, whatever it is, it is. Friday, they're back at practice, both teams. Boston media going to Canadiens practice. Canadiens media going to Boston practice. That. The next night, on Saturday night, a couple nights after their first game, they play again. They don't have to travel back to Canadiens. They stay in Boston, right? There's no travel. They're rested, but there's a lot of emotions carrying over from the game before. This is what I'd love to see, Mapper.
World, but it's not going to happen. It's too expensive.
What do you mean it's too expensive?
I mean, spending a week on the road is expensive for a hockey team. So,
well, look at all the trips they do when they go to the West Coast. Look at all the days when they go to Los Angeles. They play the Kings. They play the Ducks. They play the Sharks. They play the Ducks, Kings, Sharks. Who am I missing here?
Well, you have Seattle, you have LA, you have Anaheim, Arizona, Vegas.
Okay. When they play the Oilers, they play the Jets, they play the Flames, they play the Canucks. They're on the road for over a week.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, but it's just not the same. I mean, back in the days when there was fighting and there was, uh, like big quotes, but now they're so like careful with what they're saying. You can't touch. I mean, I'm not criticizing the fact that there's no more fights or pretty much, but not the same. So to me, just geography is a good thing when it comes up to rivalry playoffs, obviously. But yeah, I'm just tired of seeing, like, how can I say that politely? Some teams that people couldn't care less.
I hear you. Well, Arizona shouldn't even be in the league. I mean, with all due respect to our buddy, who's the coach of the Arizona Coyotes, Coach Andre Tourigny. Coach, nothing personal, has nothing to do with you. But I don't like the way Arizona has operated over the past couple of years. They're just helping teams get rid of some of their contracts. They're taking on the contracts so they could just be above the floor. I don't like it. By the way, very important. This is a big, big news on this Wednesday, March 22nd, and it is 17 minutes into the show. Isabelle Plante just text on YouTube Live. Great look, Tony. Now that I put the conditioner in my hair, great look. And Isabelle Plante usually throws the compliments your way on Twitter, but tonight she likes my hair. Great look, Tony, she says.
Well, she knows what a good-looking man looks like. So
I you know what? I would tend to agree with that. Clearly, yes, 100%, 100%. The Canadiens and the Bruins, the rivalry used to be so intense that you know who used to drive me crazy? René Rancourt.
We just have to say hi to Isabelle. I met her twice. She's really nice. So
I'm sure she is.
But René Rancourt, he was.
You remember René Rancourt?
Yeah, of course I do.
The Anthem singer, right?
Yep.
He used to give the fist pump. Remember?
Yep.
He used to give that fist pump. That fist pump used to bother me so much. I felt like punching my television. You know what? I don't have any anger management problems. Believe me, I don't. But that fist pump that he used to do, it used to bother me so much, man. It bothered me.
Well, I mean, he was a showman, and I think at one point he was like taking a little bit too much space. But now,
he got carried away. Eh? He wanted to steal the show, eh?
Maybe a little bit, but
he wasn't doing it with his singing.
No, but now the Anthem singer is actually bartender in the building, second floor, and when it's time to go sing, he sings and then goes back to his bar.
Wow.
Yeah. So I met him I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago.
What are they cheap to that point that they don't want to hire an Anthem singer so that they get the bartender was working? Say, hey, by the way, go sing a song.
They pay him, I guess.
Well, but I would hope so.
Like said, he's such a nice guy. So anyway, it's
yeah.
But it's not René Rancourt.
No, but he used to bother me, and it all coincided. Remember in the 80s? So the Canadiens had beat the Bruins for the longest time. You remember that? And then the Bruins, I'm trying to think when the Bruins beat the Canadiens, and I'm going to guess 1988. I believe the Bruins beat the Canadiens in 1988, and then they beat them a couple of times in the 90s. And that was with Régent Lemelin, that was with Andy Moog, and that was with Cam Neely, right? And Reggie Lemelin, he used to do it too. He used to take off that cage that he had, and he used to give like the little fist pump like that. It used to drive me crazy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it used to drive me crazy.
You like the anthems? Like the fact that we still have anthems?
I like the fact that they have anthems before the game.
Okay.
But if they get rid of them, I have no problem whatsoever. You know what I mean? I just I think I like them because I'm used to them and not because I feel that they should be played.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, if the Bruins play the Canadiens and you're playing Old Canada and you're cheering for the Canadiens, but the Bruins end up having more Canadiens than the Canadiens do, Like, what's the use of the anthem? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that that's the case, but there are times where you can probably get, you're hearing the American anthem, and the team probably has 3 American players. Like, so what's the? I don't care if they get rid of the anthem. I really don't.
I just think it's not the best for the crowd and for the players to, because the only place, or probably pretty much the only place where I actually like the anthems is Chicago. If you can go there, no matter what the game will be, the anthem. Yeah. But.
People like anthems, though. Remember, they used to think that Jeanette used to bring the Canadians all kinds of luck. And I think, you know what? I think she sang like 8 times, and I think they lost 6.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't know. You never met me to pick up your beer, by the way. I have that case of 12 for you. It's still in my fridge.
Well,
the good news is when you're going to get it, it's going to be cold.
Give me your address now.
You want me to give it to you live right now?
No.
Yeah, I don't think I should do that because, not everyone watching and not everyone listening likes me. I would love it if they did, but unfortunately they don't. But the most important thing is that even if they don't, they still like and they still listen anyway.
There you go.
That's the most important thing. Roger Doucette, by the way, the late, great Roger Doucette was the best with the anthems.
Well,
number 1.
Tough to beat the guy from Chicago right now.
Yeah, the one in Chicago. He's excellent, eh? He's very, very good. Very, very good. I like the chat that I had with Jean-Charles Lajoie earlier this morning. Who, by the way, did you see yesterday when he broke the table? Did you see that?
I didn't see it. I wanted to. I'll go take a look after. Yeah.
You didn't see that on Twitter? Or?
Oh, I did. Well, I mean, I've had a long day, so.
Okay. Anyway, we'll bring it up here at some point. But he and I thought we had a real interesting conversation earlier this morning. And you know what? Patrick Roy, le préfet de discipline, actually joined us on the conversation. It was a good one. I'd love to have your opinion on this because Kent Hughes came out. He told Pierre LeBrun that they asked, Kent Hughes was asked, how long do you guys, think that this is going to be the case where, you're going to be in a rebuild here. You're not going to be making the playoffs. And he said, I would think 2 more years, maybe 3.
Yeah.
And by the way, I love honesty. Jean-Charles said, I hope he's just setting the bar low and then he's going to surprise everyone. And I said, no, I don't think he's doing that, Jean-Charles. I said, if he said that, I believe that because that's what the plan is, and he and Jeff Gorton are going to stick to the plan.
Well, what would it?
So Jean-Charles said, that better not be the plan because, this year, you know what? I know a lot of people who have lost interest and aren't watching the Canadiens games anymore or aren't any. And I said, yeah, but Jean-Charles, the building's still full. People aren't going to cancel their tickets. And he said, well, Tony, I wasn't going to talk about this, but now that you brought it up, I will. And I said, what? He said that he canceled his season tickets. And I said, wow, okay. But I said, Jean-Charles, I'm sure the second you canceled them, somebody bought your tickets. Somebody bought those tickets because they have a waiting list of probably, 4,000 or 5,000 names. And I said, I'm sure the second that you canceled them, somebody picked them up just like that. And he said, no, Tony, if they keep on going like this, people are going to lose interest. And I said, but you're right. People might lose interest, but I don't think they are. But if they are, if they're going to end up being sustainable and really good for a decade, they'll be able to make all of that back. So Pat Huard chimed in and he said, guys, this year I don't think it's as bad because people are buying the Connor Bedard dream.
Oh, yeah.
So once this season is over and Connor Bedard's going to go somewhere, the Canadiens next year, if they're not going to be good like this year, it's going to be bad. This year, they're getting by on the Connor Bedard dream. I'd love to know how you feel about this because it's a very interesting phenomenon that's going on right now, okay? I think the Canadians have lost, like, I don't know what it is. What is it? 8 of their last 10 games or 8 of their last 11 or whatever it is. And it seems like everyone's okay with it. So is it the Connor Bedard dream, like Pat said, or have people bought in and they have finally accepted the rebuild once and for all?
Well, I think people, they know hockey and they know that you can't just do that. Yes, Connor Bedard is helping a lot, but right now we're seeing people having fun despite the losses because the team is playing. I mean, they're giving it all or pretty much. So people, they do recognize that, they do appreciate that, but there's a difference between interest and passion, and what you need is passion. So I think people know, they know that it's not going to be next year. So after that, can't use is just right by saying 2 or 3 years. But we talked about Connor Bedard. He can change everything. So you need luck right now. You need luck. You need to this lottery, and then you're rebuilding or whatever you call it is. I mean, it's going to be faster by 1 or 2, maybe 3 years. So.
Yeah. So I went out to lunch with my buddy, Senior Terry, today. And he said to me, this conversation came up, and he said, Tony, I listened to you guys earlier this morning on BPM Sports Radio. And he said, you can tell Jean-Charles that I have my season tickets, and I enjoy going to the games because I enjoy watching the kids play. I enjoy watching Suzuki. I enjoyed watching Caulfield before his injury. I enjoyed watching Slafkovsky before his injury. I enjoy watching Jordan Harris before his injury. I enjoy watching Jack-Eye before his injury. I enjoy everybody's injured. I enjoy watching Barron. I enjoyed watching Gouli before his injury. I enjoy watching Kirby Doc. You know what? And so he says, I enjoy it. But look, I got a message from my buddy Ralph who says, look, JC's right. He says, I don't watch nearly as much anymore. And I said, but look, can it be this? Can it be that for us that are of a certain age, and I'm older than you, I turned 50 back on the 23rd of November. Saku Koivu and I share the same birthday, by the way, but he's 2 years younger.
Share mine with Grant Fuhr.
You share yours with Grant Fuhr? Really? That's nice. Yeah. And I had him on the Sick podcast, by the way. I never had Saku, though. And can it be that as when we get older and we know that the clock is ticking and it's no longer ticking with us or for us, it's ticking against us? So we're probably going to have at one point in our lives less time left on this earth than we've already lived. Is it possible that we just start to appreciate other things in life and we detach a bit? Now, I watch all the time because this is what I do for a living. And if I'm not going to watch, I'm going to sound like an idiot. I don't want to sound like an idiot. But can it be that? Another thing, can it be that the season is just too long? Like, I love the game. This is what I do for a living, right? I talk about the game. I love the game. But the season's too long. Marc-André, the season's too long.
Too long, and you have too many games against team that people don't care.
No storylines. No storylines.
Comes back to this. To me, it's so obvious, but I mean, how can you ask people, especially on a losing season, to stay awake at 10 or 10:30 to watch a game against LA, against Anaheim, against San Jose, against Arizona? You just can't do that.
No.
People are going to do it. So, I mean, just one more game against Boston instead of Arizona. One more game, Toronto instead of LA. And now we're not talking about the hour, just the match.
But Mapper, there's hockey games every night from the first week of October until middle of April, and then there's the playoffs. There shouldn't be hockey every night.
Of course there should, yeah.
You think so? No. Sunday's football. Sunday is football. The NHL should not play games on Sundays.
Well, you're not gonna do your schedule. I mean, because of football, there's some games. There's not a lot of games on Sundays, but yeah, you need to have to I don't know, keep people interested. I like watching some hockey every night. Sometimes I go to bed. I just watch, let's say, one period. Now I'm watching Pittsburgh, Colorado. I like it. I enjoy it. I mean, I'm not as attentive,
Yes.
like focused, but yeah, I like it. I read. Sometimes I read. I watch hockey. I love it.
Christian Martel says, I remember the 80s, the Quebec Nordiques, the Montreal Canadiens, 8 times a year, plus preseason, plus playoffs. Those were the days. That's the major reason. That's a big reason why I want the Nordiques come back, because the Canadiens and the Nordiques, for me, was the best rivalry in hockey.
The first shot. And you're going to have people watching. You're going to have people buying stuff. You're going to have... I'm so tired, like, trying to figure out why. But anyways.
It bothers you, the schedule. You know, so I told you there's too many games, right? 82 games for me. There's too many games.
I don't agree.
Okay, so we're going to agree to disagree.
Yeah.
I would shave off minimum 2 games a month, minimum, and have a 70-game season. The owners are all going to say no because there's less revenue coming in. You know what I would do? I would say, okay, guys, to make up the revenue, if we have to, you could put advertising on your jerseys. I would make them they could look like walking billboards if they wanted to. I don't care. If it means you're going to shave off 2 to 3 games a month, and you're going to end up obviously having a better product because you're going to not play 3s and 4s or 4s and 6s or 5s and 8s. It's going to be a better product. There's going to be less injuries. There's too many injuries, man.
That's a fact.
The Canadiens have lost more guys to injury than they've had guys play games this year.
That's a fact. But it's not, I mean, look at Dallas. They don't have injuries. So it's there. No, I like 82 games. I don't mind. I just mind seeing Dallas 2 times, seeing Arizona.
The Stanley Cup comes out in the middle of June.
Oh, that's too late. I agree with that.
I mean, starting May 1st, I'm taking walks. I'm going to Dairy Queen to have an ice cream.
Yeah, but
every night.
The training camp, they have 8 preseason games.
Too much.
Cut it by 4 or 5 right there, and your problem is pretty much solved.
Yeah, the Stanley Cup should not come out in the month of June.
Well, when you have, like, in the Stanley Cup, the finals, there's 2 days between each games. It's too much. So you lose in.
Instead, the contrary is going to happen. They're going to end up adding teams going forward, and they're going to end up adding games going forward. Hey, speaking of injuries in the Canadiens, what was that about Jordan Harris today? Did he make his way on the ice and he was in a non-contact jersey, and then after a discussion, he was in a contact jersey? Explain that to me, please.
Oh, it's just, dark blue jersey. And probably Graham told someone on the bench to go get Jordan Harris, telling him that, he can have contact. So he just switched his jersey, which is, I've never seen that, but it's good news. And he traveled with the team. He's not going to play tomorrow against Boston, but it's good news. But I have never seen that. So probably, my guess is that, the person who's, putting the jerseys on the dans les stalls, and he just didn't get the memo, I guess, or what.
Okay, well, that could very well be. All right, it kind of looked a little bit weird. Your buddy George Larax, ton chum ça aussi, Josh?
Well, I've talked to him maybe once, twice.
In your whole life?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, not a lot, but yeah, he's really nice guy. Really nice guy.
He likes pillows.
Does he?
Yeah, he likes pillows. He has I don't know, he's got an affection for pillows. Every time we do the podcast like this, he's usually like a regular contributor on Thursdays. He usually holds on to his pillow a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you about the Lane Hutson?
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about Lane Hutson.
Oh no, it's not gonna.
George Larac says you'll trade Lane Hutson
Oh,
if it means getting Pierre-Luc Dubois.
let's give George a mulligan. Okay, it's not gonna happen. It is not gonna happen for many reasons. First, there's good chances that Pierre-Luc Dubois won't cost Lane Hutson, and anyone who saw Lane Hutson last year at the rookie camp and
Yeah.
is watching him play, I mean, this guy could be a gem. He's the real thing.
Why does this happen that in Montreal, there's members of the media, when it's not one, it's the other, that are willing to trade high-end prospects before they even play a game to get better right away?
Yeah.
Like, why does everyone want to do that? Like, do people not realize, with all due respect to George, and I'm going to have this conversation with him tomorrow, by the way, do people not realize the value of a player on an entry-level contract? For the first 3 years, that player makes less than $1 million in a salary cap world. That's huge, you know that? That's big.
That's why the league is younger and younger. But I mean, now the priority for Montreal is to sign Lane Hutson and to keep Lane Hutson. I mean,
Mais oui.
You have no idea how, like the potential of this kid. He's just amazing. So we'll see. He's still young. Anything can happen, but I would never do that trade. Never.
Yeah. I have a feeling tomorrow night George and I are going to end up having a pillow fight.
Probably. That means you have
him from his house and me from my house. Where's my pillow? I had a pillow here. Oh, it's right here. Hold on a second. You've seen my pillow before, right?
I did not.
No? Okay, hold on a second. I got it for you.
Your big pants. Look at you. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Custom?
I guess. It's nice, huh?
It is.
I got this from sports card store Sport La Tornade.
Oi?
Yeah, in Vaudreuil-Dorion.
That's a nice gift.
Nice. Yeah. So mine is a red pillow, Caulfield, number 22. Okay. With his picture in the front. George has a plain white pillow with I don't know, it's like several polka dots on it on both sides of the pillow. Yeah, so that's George's pillow.
I want one.
Yellow polka dots on a white pillow, and I have this one here. And we're probably going to end up getting into a pillow fight tomorrow because Lane Hutson, at 18 years old, is nominated for the Hobey Baker.
Yep.
You know, there's a lot of defensemen that are not nominated for the Hobey Baker. And if they are, not at 18. And he just had a better season in the NCAA than Luke Hughes. Luke Hughes, a former 4th pick overall. 4th pick overall.
Have you seen, I don't know if they changed his picture on Hockey DB.
Yeah, Connie Cavallaro caught that one, by the way, with George's pillow. It went over everyone's head, but Connie caught it. Good.
Okay, everyone go on the Lane Hutson Hockey DB page. You'll see like his picture with the green, the red jersey. Put your finger on it, and it's gonna switch to his old picture. Okay, so you'll see.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you see what he looked like before he got drafted. I mean, he really looks like a 12-year-old kid. And he was small. He was thin, like skinny. Do you say?
Yeah, skinny. Yeah, opposite of me. Yeah.
And he actually, I mean, everybody knows the story now. He actually had a medical paper saying that it's a medical situation, and he's gonna grow up taller and bigger, and that's what's happening right now. And
I don't know if they had the same medical situation, but Lionel Messi is one that had a medical situation too. But Lionel Messi was put on human growth hormone, by the way, by one of the teams that picked him up in the academy when he was like 12 or 13. I don't know if they did that with Lane, but anyway.
But that was
okay. So are you ready for the Jean-Charles Lajoie video? Yesterday, there he is at TVA Sport. He finishes his show, his television show, Monday to Friday, JC, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. He finishes the show. He goes into one of the rooms close to the studio, and he shoots a promo for today's radio show at BPM Sport. Let's watch it.
5h30, premier compteur, 6h, BPM Sport, partout au Québec. 91.9 Montréal, 100.5 Québec. 85.
And there you have it. There you have it. My God, man. My God.
Funny.
Yeah.
When Lane Hutson got drafted, it wouldn't have happened.
So I went to that room, which you know where it is, right? It's that room right next to where behind the vending machines and behind the water cooler. And I went there today, and I'm like, you know what? I know where that room was. I know where that happened. So I went in and I wondered, if they had removed the furniture and stuff like that or whatever. And Sammy and Yellow, I sent it to you. If you can bring it up. Let's see if you can bring it up here. Okay. I sent you I sent you a picture just now via text message. Let me know if you can bring it up, or just basically let me know when you have it, okay? All right, they're going to let me know when they have it. Okay, so they don't have it just yet. They can't bring it up just yet. So anyway, they'll let me know. But that's happened to me on a couple of occasions. It's never happened at the TV station, but it's happened in my house. And
you don't sit on the table, eh? That's first.
But you know what? To his credit, and I love this, right? I would have done the same thing. There's a lot of people who would have stopped that, and they would not have put it on social media, but he's able to laugh at a situation and laugh at himself. So he put it on social media, and I thought that was great.
Of course, yeah, he's funny.
Unfortunately, you're going to have some people that are going to have some comments that aren't too nice and aren't too kind, but he put it anyway. You know what I mean?
That's okay. I mean, it's part of the business, right?
Yeah. Kent Hughes said that if he can try and make a deal like a Kirby Dach deal for a young player to accelerate the rebuild, he will. But to go out and make a deal or sign like a 28-year-old player to make the Canadiens better right away, he's not interested. So my question to you is, and I thought I wouldn't bring up this guy's name, but I will. Do you think the same would apply to Pierre-Luc Dubois, who will be 25 years old at the end of June? Or because you said a 28-year-old player, then it doesn't apply to Dubois, and the Canadiens will try and get Dubois here?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
So Kent Hughes said, we're doing a rebuild.
Yeah.
We're not, we'll accelerate it if we can get a Kent, like a Kirby Dach kind of trade.
Okay.
But to go out and sign a 28-year-old, we wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Now, Dubois will be 25 in June, and I know he's not going to be UFA in June. He's set to be UFA the year after that. But do you think what he said applies to Dubois, or do you think that he would want to bring in Dubois to try and accelerate the rebuild?
Maybe a trade and sign situation. You're not just trading Dubois if you don't have the guarantee that he's going to be in Montreal for many years. So that's the only thing is, if it's trade and sign, he would do it in a heartbeat, but not just trade and hope that he's going to sign when he's UFA. So
I got the picture. You want to see it?
Yeah.
So I went in that room today.
Hey,
it's still there.
Broken.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say that table is not made in Germany, and it's not made in Switzerland.
And it's not gonna make it to tomorrow.
No, it's not going to make it to tomorrow. No. All right. Okay. Emil Heineman scored tonight.
He did. He
Yeah.
did. Out of the Foley trade, and it's probably the only trade that Hughes didn't win yet. But
I'm interested in this one. I'm interested in this player because he has a major league shot. We were told about his shot. This guy can really shoot the puck. So you know what? I think this guy can be an interesting prospect. Anyway, enjoy your time in Boston. So the Canadiens and the Bruins tomorrow night. Yep. What do you have planned tomorrow? Who do you plan on speaking with? I would imagine the typical interview with Patrice Bergeron, or did he do that today?
Well, I did it today with Jean-François Chaumont and Guillaume Lefrançois, but we'll do it tomorrow again. And it's always interesting. He always takes that. He's such a class act.
Hey, Jim Montgomery, what a coach, eh?
Great coach, great guy, great story. So, and I mean, this team, they did the right things, and that's why guys like Krejci came back, Bergeron came back for less money, and they are winning. They did build something very appealing to the players, and it's I know Martin Saint Louis is looking at the Bruins and he's like, and Kent Hughes, and that's what I want to.
Yeah. Mapper, I always appreciate it. Look, if I would be in Boston right now at this time, I'd probably be on Hanover Street. So the fact that you stayed in your hotel to do this, merci beaucoup, mon chum. We'll talk to you soon.
Cheers, everyone.
All right, there you have it. Marc-André Perreault from TVA Sport. What a guy. What a guy. All right, okay. Back to some of your comments. And Sammy and Yellow, if you want to bring them. Sammy and Yellow, can you come on screen here for a second?
What's up, Tony?
So I know that you guys, and I've said this before, you're the rather shy type.
Yep.
Okay. My wife thinks you're absolutely hilarious, by the way. She thinks that every show, the end of every show, we should go to you the end of every show. Now, it's not the end yet. It's 10:47. But I'm going to let you do what I do for 30 seconds.
Oh, here we go again.
Because I need to pee.
What's wrong with this guy?
What's wrong? I'm drinking I'm trying to lose weight. I'm drinking 4 liters of water a day. 4 liters.
So we decided that we're going to make like a little commercial, like a 2-minute commercial. Every time you go to the bathroom, that's what we're going to put on.
Okay, hold on a second. But just talk to people, okay?
What do you want me to tell people?
Tell people, say that. I don't know. Tell them about your life. It's interesting.
So how many of you people think that Tony's normal? That's what I'd like to see in the chat. Do you think he's sick? Or do you think he's normal? Please let us know. Because for me, it's not normal what he does. So you should put on a song, Sammy. Yeah, put on a song for us. Italian one is good. Hopefully he starts dancing again. There you go. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Yes, I wash my hands with soap, by the way. I read some of the comments. They're washed. They're wet. Yeah, soap, 100%.
So we're trying to contact Dancing with the Stars. We want to see if we can put you on there.
I would win.
I know, that's why.
I think I'd have a really good chance.
It'd be great for the show.
I learned how to dance a long time ago. And it's very, very important. Ask me why.
Why?
You don't know?
No.
Because When you're at an establishment, whether you're at a nightclub, you're at a restaurant, you're at a reception hall, you're at a gala, and you get up to dance, and women are looking at you. When a woman sees a man that knows how to dance, she looks over at her friend and she says, I bet you this guy really knows how to dance.
So here's the problem. If you think your dancing is really good dancing, we got serious problems.
Eh?
If you think your dancing is good dancing, we got serious problems.
Oh, no, I know how to dance.
I'm just
I know how to dance. When I go to a reception hall or a gala or whatever and stuff like that, I start dancing.
I've seen you. You take over the dance.
All the other men, they leave the hall.
They leave, yeah, of course.
They leave. They have no chance. None. Zero.
I agree.
You should see the move that I have when I put, I should have my wife come. Ange?
She's not coming on, so I don't know why you're calling her.
Angie? Sweetheart? You're ruining my podcast by not answering, eh? And we need this podcast to put food on the table. She's in the room right here. I'm going to get her and I'm going to show you the way I twirl her.
Yeah.
She'll pass out.
Yeah. But isn't she in their special blanket, weight loss blanket?
She's still in that blanket. She's been in that blanket for about an hour now.
I think she's trying to avoid you.
Ange, can you come here? Ange? Ange, come here right now. Ange? Ange, the podcast depends on it. Ange? No, don't. You're drenched. Yeah, what else is new? Sweetie?
No, I can't, sweetie.
What? Ange, can you please come here for a second? Oh, Ange?
How does she do it?
No, forget it.
No, she doesn't listen to you, Tony.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't listen to you.
No.
Okay.
This is a disaster. I told her, get over here. That's what happens.
She's hurting our ratings.
By the way, somebody mentioned to me that maybe I'm actually going to pee because I have diabetes. I hope I don't.
Oh, stop. It's all the water you're drinking.
Well, I would think so, yes. But you know what they say? A lot of people that have diabetes drink a lot of water because their mouth is very dry and they feel like they have to drink all the time.
But do you ever hear that when you put a lot of conditioner in your hair, it makes you pee also?
Is that right?
That's what I heard.
When you put a lot of conditioner, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the biggest conditioner ball I've ever seen.
It is. Hey, are you going to the casino tomorrow night?
No, we were at Playground tonight, and our sponsor tonight, it was incredible.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, a lot of people came up to us asking about the show. It was really great. They do a great job there.
Yeah, they really do.
They do a great job.
Yeah.
It was packed. Great job.
Yeah.
Great food.
That's what I actually meant by the casino when I was
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know you told me that you were either going tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure when you were going.
They had a special tonight for members, also Bugle for $6. It's unbelievable.
Also Bugle for $6?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah. Food's really good, very cheap, no tax. Great stuff. Great stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. They got it down pat there. They know what they're doing.
That's amazing. Okay, very, very good. All right, why don't you do this?
Yeah.
Why don't you bring up some
Comments. Okay.
some comments?
Okay.
My shoulder is still killing me, by the way. But the good news is I'm going to see my osteo tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Good.
So I'm going tomorrow, and then I'm going to the week after, and then the week after that. And she told me that it should be over by then, or I should get rid of this problem. I hope so.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, let's get to some of the questions. Is Kirby Dach got the potential to be an elite player? Yes, I think he definitely does. Kirby Dach has the potential to be an elite player. Yesterday, he was dominant. Yesterday, he looked like, and I wouldn't bet on this, by the way, because I still think that Nick Suzuki is the guy. But yesterday, we can understand, why he was drafted third overall. And when he plays like that, you could say to yourself that he probably has the potential to be, better than Nick Suzuki as a centerman. Says Olivier Giroud, who's not the Olivier Giroud who plays for the men's French national team, by the way. He's another Olivier Giroud, who says, best cannoli in Montreal, Tony. Very difficult question. because many places make a great cannoli. Many places make a great cannoli. Aladi on Jean-Talon makes a great cannoli. Mr. Biscotti at Marche Tania in Little Italy makes a great cannoli. Patisserie La Salle in Ville Salle makes a great cannoli. Those are just 3 places, but there's many places that make a great cannoli. Probably going to get in trouble there for leaving some out, but believe me when I tell you, there's many places that make a great cannoli. La Salle Pastry and RDP makes a great cannoli. La Concadoro makes a great cannoli. Patisserie Vimont makes a very good cannoli. Tillamont makes a very good cannoli. Best Napoli wood oven style pizza. This coming in from Stu in Montreal. There's a lot of places that make a very good pizza like that. Moretti's is one. Sophia's Distrant is another. I've heard there's an establishment on the West Island, which I haven't tried yet, that is very good, but I haven't tried. And there's a couple of places in Little Italy that also have a real good one. I like Gemma is good, and I like Pomodoro too. All right. We can, by the way, as you just saw, this doesn't have to be hockey, right? It could be absolutely anything. And by the way, cannoli is not my favorite pastry. If you're wondering, I preferred Zeppoli over a cannoli, but I like cannoli very, very much. I'm also a big fan of Batchy chocolates, by the way. I like Batchy chocolates a lot. Best Zeppolis are at Patisserie Amoretti and RDP. I heard those are very good. Yes. Patisserie La Salle in Villa Salle is also very good. And I heard that San Marco is very, very good as well. And another place that makes a great cannoli and a great Zeppoli is Dolce Più. They have 2 locations. One is in Ville Saint Laurent and the other one is in Blainville. But once again, we're lucky in Montreal. We're lucky. There's a lot of bakeries, pastry shops that make very, very good cannolis. A lot of places. And there's one place, Più che Dolci, that brings in amazing cakes from Italy. Amazing cakes from Le Puglie. I think notably from Lecce. They bring in amazing cakes and all that stuff, and really, really good. Other questions in yellow, bring them up. Joe the Snoop says, Tony, if you come here to Sydney, Australia, you'll love the Italian food. Joe, it's funny you say that. My sister is there right now as we speak. She's in Sydney, Australia right now as we speak. I think she's going to be there for another 5 or 6 days. From Spar La Tornade, George is 100% right. He's 100% right, meaning what? That he would trade Lane Hutson for Pierre-Luc Dubois? I don't know about that. Choke says, Theodore, do you need me to rub your temples? Which is what Miss LA used to do to the great late Ted Teven back in the day. Just relax. Now lay your head back and let me rub your temples. You see, there's nothing to get excited about. Ted Teven was amazing, man. Ted Teven was amazing. Amazing. More questions. Hey, Tony, is Monty have the potential to be a number 1 in the National Hockey League? Have the potential? Yes. But I still think that when the Montreal Canadiens are a contender, it'll be another goalie that'll be their number 1 and not Samuel Montembeault. Tony, is Drouin getting a contract or a PTO next year? Habs or another team? He's not getting a contract with the Canadiens. I think he will get a PTO with another team. And if he does sign the National Hockey League, it'll probably be a short-term contract. Alessia G says, Tony, do you remember Andre from Toronto? Yes, I do remember Andre from Toronto. Yes, I remember Andre from Toronto. Tony, was Ted Teeman Randy Teeman's dad? No, because Randy was Teeman and Ted was Teevan. So there's a difference. Others coming in. Whenever you're ready. People ask me whatever you want, then. If Tony Perreault, Montreal drafts 5th and Michkov is still available, do you think Kent Hughes drafts him even with the Russian KHL? Yes, of course. He just said it. He just said that he thinks they'll miss the playoffs for the next 3 years. So you think that he's going to care that he won't have Michkov here for 2 or 3 years? No. If Michkov's available at 5, my prediction is he drafts him. Next. I think he's the second best pure talent in the draft, by the way, after Bedard. Marco Monaco. Caulfield's contract is going to happen when, for how long, and how much? It's going to happen before the end of the year, and it's either going to be a 3-year deal or it's going to be a 7 or 8 year deal. So I'm going with those 3 years, 3, 7, or 8. I'm not going with anything else, and I think you're looking at upwards of $8 million. So I said you can ask me anything, but it seems like Agnello and Sammy are really going with hockey generic questions here. What's the place that imports those cakes? This coming in from, I don't know if that's Yams, or IMS. It's Più Che Dolci. And you can order from their warehouse either out of Montreal North or out of Laval. Frank and Solo, do you think Caulfield will be the same player? Yes, I do. He has a nose for the net and he knows how to score goals. You can't teach stuff like that. Others coming in. Tony, favorite time of the year for sports, spring or fall? Spring. It's playoffs. Next. Do we have our number 1 and 2 centers in Suzuki and Doc? I would think so, unless they draft Fantilli. Because if they draft Fantilli, then Fantilli will be a center and Doc's going to be a winger. Next. Any idea why the Bergevin regime was against having alumni around? Because they wanted to control everything. That's basically it. Next. Matrix says, would you invite Jean-Charles Lajoie to the podcast? I already have before, and he knows he has an open invitation anytime. I think he's just not very comfortable with his English, but I think his English is good enough to do the podcast. With Quinton Musty, we'll win the cup within a few years. I don't think the Canadiens are going to draft Quinton Musty. No. Next. What are we going to do when we pick 4th this year? Tell me who's going to go 2nd and 3rd, and I'll tell you what they're going to do 4th. Until then, I don't know. The show should be over, by the way, and I have an incredible pain in my arm, but questions are coming in at 100 miles an hour, and since I'm a man of the people, I decided to answer some of the questions. Okay, but we probably should end it there. Why don't we just, I'll take one more. Alessia says, when are you coming to Toronto? I will be in Toronto this summer. I don't know when exactly, but I'll be in Toronto this summer. I like visiting Toronto. I'll be in Toronto this summer. Why? Am I invited anywhere or what? Alessia is asking me to go to Toronto on yellow. Alessia, I don't know when I'm going to Toronto, but I'll be in Toronto this summer. And if you want, you know, and you wanted to meet up, have a coffee, take a picture, say hello, no matter what it is, you can always email me, Tony at thesickpodcast.com, and I'll put it in my calendar or something, and then give myself a reminder if I'm going to Toronto to send you a note. And there's a lot of people. My dad, Andre from Toronto, wants you to come. Yes, okay. So now that makes sense because she told me, "Do you know Andre from Toronto?" And I said yes. So her dad would want me to go. Yes, I'd be more than happy to see you and your dad. 100%. Gary says we need to do a party when you're here in Toronto. Sure, let's do a party when I'm in Toronto. No problem. Let's do a party when I go to Toronto. No problem. Agnello and Sammy, just come back and then we're going to go. We're going to call it a night. Come for dinner with my dad. Sure.
What's up, Tony?
Okay, so listen, we're gonna do this. We're getting more and more questions about it. We're gonna do this get together at some point here.
Yes, 100%.
Month of June probably sounds good to you.
Yep.
Month of June or May,
Maybe
June?
maybe even a bit earlier.
Maybe even a bit earlier.
Yep.
June is just, it's nice. People are on vacation.
Yeah, we just got to find the right location, which we're looking
a
at.
bit later and stuff like that.
I agree.
We can find the right location. So many places we can do it.
Yeah, of course.
Of
course.
I think I know where we're going to do it.
Don't say it.
There's a lot of locations.
I know. Hopefully it's one of our sponsors.
Of course. I mean, that's what we're going to do.
Yep.
If not, we'll do it at Angrignon Park in Villa South.
Yeah, we can.
In the outdoors.
Yep. Barbecue.
Hey?
Barbecue.
That's it.
Yeah.
They said LaSalle is the second most romantic city in Canada, right?
Is it?
Yes. LaSalle has been voted the second most romantic city in Canada.
Is everything else first?
No, but no, there's another city, which I don't remember which one it is, but LaSalle is number 2. But I think that's because I'm 50.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I was 20, it would be number 1.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to be back tomorrow night. Hey, listen, I can't wait for tomorrow because the Canadiens and the Bruins. And even though they're two teams going in completely different directions right now, for whatever reason, I just think that something's going to happen in that hockey game tomorrow to try and spice up this rivalry again, that we're going to be talking about it. All right. So right after the Canadiens and the Bruins tomorrow night, which, by the way, tomorrow night, I'm going to supper with a big fan of the show. Reached out and wanted to know if I wanted to do supper tomorrow night. And I said, I'd love to, but we have to go to an establishment where we can watch the game because then I got to go home and I got to talk about it. So I'll tell you how my night goes tomorrow night, and we'll talk Canadiens and Bruins tomorrow night. So for all of you that were watching and participating on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and Twitter Live, if you like the podcast, message SICK, S-I-C-K, like it, share it with your friends. And on Google, Apple, or Spotify, leave us a 5-star review. We really appreciate it. Team concept, total emotion and motivation, says the great Peter from Côte Saint Luc. They're Cavallaro. I'm Marinaro. Talk to you tomorrow.
Good night.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Tony Marinaro on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts. The Sick Podcast is brought to you by Energy Transportation Group. Driven to be different. La Vida Tibi. Embrace your true nature.